Hey, welcome everybody. Guess what we're doing today? Roofing? Nope. Siding? Maybe a little. Flashing? Yes, that's going to be the first part. I'm going to flash in this. The roofing is due in any day. Also, the shower stall is due in any day. I think as soon as that comes in, well, it's supposed to be sunny for like a week, so I don't know. I'd like to ideally do that during a rainy day. But anyway, I'm going to bend and cut metal for this flashing. It'll come up on the wall and out onto the roof. I'll make it so it's probably coming out 8 inches on the roof, so it's really coming out there to keep it dry, and it'll come up on here 4 inches. So the length, I'm going to cut it long so it can overlap, so that when I put the other side on, it'll overlap, double overlap. Because that's the most, right at the peak is where it's, and where it meets the building is where it's most likely to leak. And I believe leaks are bad. So I'm going to cut it at 3 feet, and I'll make 2 of them, 1 for each side. I was getting ready to roll out some coil stock, and I saw this piece down here. I wonder if that's, I need 6 feet basically. Let's see. Let's measure this one. This may be bonus. Oh, it's 16 inches wide. That's a bonus. And it's 5'9", so 70/30. I'll cut this at 35 inches. That's about halfway. Doesn't have to be exact. And where am I going to slit this? How about, if I did it right through here? Just like that. Voila. And we have 2. Feed this back out. Okay. So now that's pretty simple. I'm just going to set these out at bend. I'm going to bend it at 10 inches. So it'll come out onto the roof. 10 inches, that's pretty good. It's almost the whole roof. Well, the roof, I think it's, I can't remember. 30 inches, close to 30 inches. So this brake has a bend measurement and a cut measurement. They're different because it just sets out differently. Okay, I'm going to put a 90-degree bend on this. Just like that, pretty easy. Times 2. There we go. All right, we can, yeah. I think I'll bend those. I might bend them on the brake, actually. I'll get an exact measurement. I'll come back and bring some snips, and we'll put a bend on each end. All right, so that's the bottom of this L-shaped piece for the flashing. And I've made a mark from the bottom up 30.5 inches. So I'm going to cut it right at that point. Right there. So now I can set this in the brake and put a bend on that. Just like that. To do the other one, I have to go down to the other end of the brake Let me see if I can snug that up. I want to get it right on that pencil mark. So I want to put a 45-degree bend on this because the roof, well, let me go out and explain it out there. Okay, I'll show you this down here. I can't get the camera up high enough to show you, but with this up against the wall, this on the roof, same here, when these overlap, the only leak joint potential leak is right here. So we've overlapped this, and so before I put this, I'll put the first one on, I'll nail this one on. Before I put this one on, I'll put a nice bead of silicone right in this area, all the way across even, and all the way up. So when this one is put on, it forms an occlusive seal. I heard that on a TV show once. Ed McMahon, maybe, a long time ago. Maybe talking about dentures or something. Okay, so I'll go up and nail this on, and it should work. Okay, you can see I've nailed this one on, and it comes over. I bent this at a 45-degree angle because the roof is 22.5, so when you figure both sides, that's 45 degrees in mathematical terms, so you know that's what that should be bent at. And so I also did this one. I actually overbent this one just a little bit so I can force it down. But this is probably the most critical part when you come up against a wall as far as roofing, is this part right here. If it's going to leak anywhere, the clapboards will cover all of this, the roofing will cover all of this, but if there's any dripping that comes down off the siding or driving rain, this is where it's going to leak. Because when those are overlapped, there's a little hole. We try to minimize, we being me, minimize that. I've overlapped this and the back part and this part and this part. Everything's overlapped, so it's double coverage basically, except for this one spot. So we're going to put silicone there. I'll put a bead right up through here. And a good healthy dose right there. This will all be covered. You won't see this part. And I'm putting the bead on this side. And hey, why not? While we're here, there's no time. Once you cover it, it's hard to come back. It's a pain to come back. I guess. You know, I've never had a problem with that. I lie like a rug. So, I mean, if you don't make a mistake, sometimes you don't learn anything. But I just want to make sure it's just a lot easier to do it this way. Okay, let me put you back here. Did I get you in there? Yeah. Right there? Yeah. Okay. So now, that down. I try not to come up against it till I'm right close to where I want to be. The other thing is, I try not to nail in the roofing. The fewer holes this way, the better. So that's good there. I'm snugged up. Okay, so that's that. I'll back up in just a second so you can take a look at the overall effect. Okay, let's look at this. All right, so we have about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch overhang. That's how much the roofing will overhang. The roofing will go, it'll be one piece all the way out to the edge. So you can see a gap here. I think I want to put a nail in here. I hate to. I'm going to put it over there, and then I'll caulk over the top of it, silicone over the top of it, just to hold it down. I think it would be good. So I'm going to do that right now. I can't do it. Hold the camera, hold a hammer, hold a nail, and hold a piece. So time out. I had to put that nail in because I had silicone across here, and if I left it lift it up. The silicone would dry and it wouldn't serve its purpose. Okay. Okay, so instead of working on siding, I just wanted to talk about a few things that have come up inside here. I want to talk about right where you are, the shower. So I want to turn this around. So a couple things. It's hard to get, like, we're in close quarters, so I can't get, if I stand up, you can't see me. Anyway, a lot of you folks mentioned, I asked the question, do we want a plastic vapor barrier on the inside of this paper barrier? It's not waterproof, by the way. This will get wet and whatnot, but it is creating an envelope, if done properly, by overlapping and not putting it on the inside. A lot of you had good ideas. You try not to get tears in the paper, but plastic if you put plastic on that where it's two vapor barriers, allowing moisture to get trapped inside. So I am just going with the paper. That's final. We also talked about the floor drain for the shower, and I am going to I'll cut a trough or trench. I need to look at the frame underneath and see what we've got. If I can go straight down, I will. If not, I'm going to be coming out to the side, and I'll cap it off as a lot of you have suggested. The kit, it's a shower kit, is supposed to arrive in 3 more days. So I'll have that. I'll put it together, and it's going to be almost completely enclosed, so you won't hardly see any of the shower. There'll be a shower curtain, so that's kind of where that's at. Okay, so 2 things, maybe 3. I have 2 more collaborations, product reviews coming up. One is another e-bike, and it's I really don't take them unless they're unique, and this one has definitely got some characteristics to it that I've never run up against, so it's going to be fun. The other is something, how do I describe this? Something for the tiny house that I decided I would accept to do a video on. It will be used in the tiny house. It's going to be great. And another thing, so a lot of you folks have talked about, a lot of you have encouraged me to go to some trade school and teach as a trade school teacher, and that's just not me. I kind of don't think doing it this way is fine, there's no pressure, but when you have students, some of the students don't really want to be there, and they're not attentive, and they get their, okay, I'm missing a finger, right? That's not due to carpentry. That was due to a wood splitter fight. I think I've told this story before. Anyway, that is another story. Some of you have asked about that, but I was thinking, what if I did a carpentry episode for beginners? Just a basic start-off video of someone that has no experience in construction or carpentry in particular, and they might want to make something. Might want to make a shed, or might want to, I don't know, build something. So if I went over the basics of, like, even down to a tool belt, what you might have in your tool belt, I think it would be a great opportunity for feedback from you folks, for comments. That's probably down the road, maybe a week or 2, I think. It would just be a break from the tiny house project. I've had a lot of breaks from the tiny house project. I need to get it closed in before winter. But anyway, so I think I'm going to do that, because a lot of people have asked or mentioned, there's nice little pointers about things that come up in everyday construction that are helpful, that are time-saving, that are for accuracy, for speed, and whatever else, Okay. Kaya's warning me, somebody's here. So, she's guard dog. Good job, Kaya. Way to scare him away. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching this. It's a short little video, but there's some exciting things coming out. There'll be 2 more product reviews. Currently, I don't have any more after that. I may. They're kind of fun. It's just, I really enjoy doing those. See you later. I haven't seen a bear yet this year. I wonder, I don't know. What is it, Kaya? What'd you see? See you later. Have a great day.